Mirror world. There was a kid we used to play with when we were young. His name was Simon and he had a strange ability. He could pass through mirrors. We had no idea how he managed to do it. But for him it was the most natural thing in the world. He would just tell us to stand aside and then he would poke his head through a mirror and climb through it. When he was on the other side, he would turn around and wave at us from the mirror world. Simon was able to step through any mirror just as easily as if he was walking through a doorway. It worked with any reflective surface. He could hop in and hop out. Whenever he touched something in which he could see his reflection, his fingers would go right through. One day, he sat down at the edge of a puddle and simply lowered his legs into it, as if it was a bottomless pit. He told us all about what it was like to be in the mirror world, how different it was. Everything was much the same, it was just the other way around. Left and right were flipped. He could see people's reflections as they passed by without noticing him. Apparently, if the mirror was smudged, the mirror world would be smudged as well. If the mirror was tilted at a slight angle, the mirror world would be tilted too, and he would have to slide down the floor and then run back uphill to climb out. One day, a guy named Mark invited Simon to his birthday party. Simon entertained everyone by showing off his mirror skills. Eventually, Mark got fed up with him hogging all the attention. They got into a fight and Mark chased after him. But of course Simon jumped through a mirror and Mark wasn't able to get at him. We all thought it was pretty funny, but then Simon took it too far. He turned towards Mark's reflection in the mirror world and punched him in the mouth. He hit Mark's reflection so hard that he knocked out 3 of his teeth. Mark was fine, of course. But his reflection certainly wasn't. After that, whenever he stood in front of a mirror, he saw his battered reflection with a swollen mouth and missing teeth, and there was nothing he could do to fix it. One day, Mark decided to get his revenge. He cornered Simon down by the beach and dragged him to an old fishing pier. Mark grabbed him by his ankles and held him upside down, over the clear surface of the lake. "If you ever do something like that again," Mark threatened, "I swear I will drop you into this lake." "I mean it." Simon pleaded for his life and said he was sorry. Mark wasn't actually going to hurt him. He just wanted to give Simon a scare. However, something went wrong. He intended to pull Simon back up, but Mark wasn't as strong as he thought he was. He lost his grip and Simon fell. He let out a terrified scream as he hit the surface of the lake and disappeared. When Simon didn't come home that night, his parents called the police. They searched for days, but they couldn't find any trace of him. Then, an old man who had been fishing on the beach came forward and told the cops he'd seen Mark drop some screaming kid into the lake. The police arrested Mark and they dredged the lake for 5 days straight, searching for Simon's corpse. Police divers went down there as well, looking for the body, but they didn't find anything. To this day, nobody has been able to find him. You see, the surface of the lake was like one huge mirror. Mark didn't drop Simon into the lake, he dropped him into the sky.